All right, hello everybody. This is my very first video to put on YouTube. So I'm kind of nervous, but it's gonna be unedited. It is what it is. So today I'm gonna show you how to make a simple chicken cacciatore. Super simple. I'm Italian, I grew up on this stuff. It's really easy, really tasty, and the best part about it is when you put it back in the refrigerator the next day, it tastes even better. So what we're gonna do is, I start off with my trusty pot. Yes, I have one of these. I lined it with aluminum foil. It just keeps it cleaner and less work for me to do. Then you take some chicken. You can do breasts, legs, whatever you want, bone in, bone out. I like the legs. That's how I've always had it. So I got 2 packs of these. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay them in to the pan very quickly. It's so simple to get all this done, and it tastes so good. It tastes like you've been cooking it for hours. Just lay these babies in there real quick. Okay, and I hope you like my video. I'm sure it's probably going to come out cheesy, but it is what it is. So there's 1 pack. Okay, and we've got the other pack. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken legs in. All right, almost done. I got quite a bit because I want leftovers and I'm feeding a lot of people too. So that's done. So they don't have to go in any special way. I just threw them in there. Then next what you do is you get potatoes. I've already cut them up, so it's fast. You want them in big chunks like this because they're gonna go in the oven and cook with the chicken, and you want it to stay nice and hearty. Chicken cacciatore is kind of like a stew, I would say, because it's got the broth and the potatoes and everything. So anyway, I've already cut these up to be fast, so I'm gonna hurry and put these in. Just grab handfuls of them, stick them in there. You can put them in any way you like. It doesn't matter. Okay, and I got a lot of potatoes too. It gets kind of heavy, so obviously the more bigger your pot, the longer it's got to cook. I cook it on 375 degrees and for a couple hours. Usually when the chicken reaches its temperature and you test the potatoes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stir around all the chicken and the potatoes. I suppose I should bring this forward. I'm not very good at this yet. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring some chicken forward so not all the potatoes are on top of the chicken. But like I said, you can arrange it however you'd like. It doesn't really matter. It's all gonna cook in one big pot together. Okay. Then next, I'm going to do, I got it about like that. As you can see, I need this big pot. Then you wanna take a can of tomato sauce. This is what I use. And just pour it over the whole top of your food. Just like that. And you want to add like half a can of water. Pour it on top as well. Then you can do beer, you can do wine, you can do cooking wine, you can do whatever you want, but you definitely want a wine or alcohol. That was my door, sorry. Anyway, I picked Budweiser, yay. And like I said, I'm Italian, so we just cook however. We don't measure, we don't do any of that. So then we go ahead and pour this in here. We go ahead and pour this in here, and then next, just let it foam, and that alcohol will cook off in the oven. It won't get you drunk or any of that. It's just for the taste, and you can do the wine, you can do anything you want, but you definitely want the alcohol. Oh, sorry, I'm eating her. Then I got whole baby Bella mushrooms. I'm just gonna cut these up really quick. So probably I should have had that done. You just want to sprinkle these up on the top. You can use pre-sliced mushrooms. You can use whatever kind of mushrooms you want. It doesn't really matter. I suppose maybe for time's sake I should have had these cut up. And it doesn't matter on the chunks and the pieces of it. Big pieces, little pieces. They don't have to be uniform, because you're just sprinkling them around your food. All right. Almost done. So there we go with the mushrooms. All right. Mushrooms are done, or I think. And they're big old chunks, they're in small pieces, they're in all kinds of pieces. They're just gonna float around in the sauce when the sauce gets made at the end. So, there we go with this. And here's some mushrooms. And we'll just add them on the top. There we go. And then, see, there's some mushrooms, I have chicken, the sauce is in there. Now, I took 3 cloves of garlic already and I cut them up. I use fresh garlic. I think all your herbs should be fresh and stuff when you're cooking. So you use as much garlic as you'd like. I like garlic, obviously. So I use 3 cloves and I just cut them up into little pieces. Then, I got some rosemary and some thyme. Once again, it's fresh. You can keep these in the refrigerator. I bought these a little while back, and they're still really, really good. I just break off some pieces of thyme. Rosemary, I mean. This is rosemary, fresh rosemary. And I'm just breaking off the leaves and just setting them everywhere. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of nice. It's kind of reminds me of a crock pot, only better, because I think the food, although the food does taste good in a crock pot, but you kind of just all put this together and don't have to worry about it. All right, now I got some rosemary. I'll just break that up and stick it on top too. All right. All right. So that is all done. So now I got the rosemary, the thyme, and all of that in here. All the sauce has gone down into the pot. Real quick, sorry. I minced some onions earlier ago. You definitely want onions in this. I used yellow onions, and I just used one. And I cut them up in a big chunk, and I showed you on my page how to correctly cut an onion, so it helps. There we go. And there's what it looks like on top. Not much, but it will be beautiful. Then we salt, pepper, lots of salt. Lots and lots of salt. You can never have too much salt. And all this has got to go down in there. All right. Then some cracked pepper. I don't know about you guys, but my arms get tired after cracking pepper. I'm too old for this shit. Okay. All right, let's spices on top. Do what you need. Then on top, you can either cover it with foil or you can put a lid on it like I did. And then we will get it into the oven.